to the Indie Wrestling Guy with your hosts, the Hall of Fame referee JHawk, the not-so-mysterious benefactor JGold, and the legendary Charly Butters.
We're back, and JHawk's back.
Thank God.
And I hate the fucking timeline.
Well, JHawk, last week's timeline didn't seem to go over very well with our two double episode week, so this timeline has to be better, even though it's bad.
I'm sorry. Within 24 hours, we lost Dolly Parton, Tim Curry, and Enjoy Wrestling. I don't like the timeline.
Oh, but they're still around for another 3 months. But the announcement was sad. It was sad. It came out of nowhere. Like, holy crap! They just dropped that announcement literally out of nowhere.
Yeah, like the latest show dropped on YouTube yesterday, which we're hoping to review next week, and then by the way, we're closing in October. Wait, what?
Yeah, dude. I woke up to that. Pam texted me and was like, "Hey, Enjoy's closing," and I was like, "Wait, what?" And
it's very deadlocky, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm
state of the world, man. That's shit's fucking.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, and they stated the reason, and I absolutely get it. I would love for them to add one more show and actually have the final show be at Mr. Small rather than Taco Mania, but
right.
It is what it is.
Yeah, Will and I already said we're probably going to go to Taco Mania, so because it's a Sunday in October, so it should be free. There's nothing else really going that day, so I think that's probably what we're going to do.
Think of the gimmicks and the names and the stories that they put out there in the last 5 years? They opened in 2019 or 2020
during COVID, man.
Yeah, think of the stories and like the guys they made in that company. Even down to like TME really got some visibility because of them. Darius Carter got tons of visibility. The Kings of the District, the Runway were just staples. The Mikey Montgomery, Ziggy, even Derek was such a big heel there for several years. I mean, they put out they got tons of stars. They've had tons of stars come through there, and just the professionalism of their broadcasts, and I mean, just an easy watch. And you guys even said when you went, like just a different kind of crowd, and unreal to see a company close the doors that are on top. Then it's not like they're struggling.
This is because they spent all that money on bringing Veda Scott in every show.
Right. Oh, no.
It's her fault. It's her fault.
Yeah. Veda Scott Vega from.
I can't believe it. Like, that was, you had AIW, you have AIW in Cleveland. You go across the border, you have Enjoy. You have Enjoy. Like, those companies, guys work both shows. Guys and gals, both shows.
I don't know where I'm going to see Violence is Forever now, because that's where I'd get to see them was at Enjoy. I don't get to see them as a tag team at AIW. So I'm not going to get to see them anymore. You're
going to make an ETU trip before the end of the year, because they do work in ETU every once in a while.
Yeah, they show up in ETU to lose. I'm trying to watch them win, brother.
Maybe it's time for Ku to bring back, what's it called? Sup. Maybe Sup needs to come back.
I mean, realistically, Violence is Forever undefeated for like 4 straight years. Like, they had to start losing at some point. Right.
Even the Shield got old. You know what I'm saying?
I'm cool. They need to keep winning.
Oh yeah. I'm super surprised by it. It did feel very deadlocky. Like, this is the end out of nowhere. And now I mean, even Thorne put up a good post. Indie wrestling's in a tough spot. The costs are up, the talent costs are up, the travel costs are up. So I can imagine, maybe they were just at the end, it just stops becoming worth it. So,
Well, I was having a conversation earlier today with some people, and granted, it's a little bit different animal now than it was back then. But even looking at like Smoky Mountain Wrestling in the '90s, you run for so long, and like no matter what you do at that point, you get burned out. The creative ideas stop going out, costs go up, and things like that. 4 years is about right, unless you got like an unlimited work of money and an unlimited staff.
Yeah.
Now, the fact that we do have a company like AIW that's toiling around 21 years later, and there are some independents that have been going around a while, that's really the exception rather than the norm. So
it's that's an excellent point, JHawk. It really is. It's hard to I guess it's hard. That's why AIW is so kind of just the outlier, them and GCW, I guess. Maybe no holds barred here, but to have that kind of longevity is Thorne. You have to be made of something different to keep going, and it just, I guess maybe it had its run, and there's only so many more stories you can tell from their perspective, I guess, and that's that. So, but we'll miss them, and we'll miss covering their shows, and the Odyssey was a great one of their better gimmicks that I really loved covering, and their tag division, those who I thought was always fun, and it'll be strange not having them around, as far as just in the middle of winter knowing that there's no Enjoy show. That's strange to me.
Thanks, Veda Scott.
we can't blame poor Veda for this.
We sure can. Butters just did.
Well, and Butter can blame whoever the fuck he wants. It doesn't mean he's right.
Thanks, Uncle Wilbur.
Exactly. I'm
nothing.
not right. I'm just making a lighthearted joke to not be so sad. Fucking bummed, man.
It is a bummer, isn't it? Shit.
Loved Enjoy. It's one of my favorite places. I mean, the IW Guide title was defended there at a Taco Mania, so that's it. It's a kick in the pants, man.
Yeah, it sure is.
But yeah, so that's what's going on. I've realized I need to get a table for in my office. I have so much just merch and trading cards and just stacks of shit everywhere. You can't see it on here, but if I pan my camera around, it's a fucking disaster zone in my office. I need a table to organize all this. So
that's what happens when you're like as big as Tops at this point. This is how Tops started, out of their house, Panini, and then IW Guide.
Well,
Card company extraordinaire.
I did go, and they finally got my AEW hobby boxes in.
Oh, cool.
At the shop, and I pulled 2 blasters, which are the smaller packs, and then a full-on hobby box, which was 16 packs. I still don't have the full set. Apparently there's just a lot of super rare wrestlers in this set, Speedball Mike Bailey was one of them. There's a couple others that I didn't get their cards. My big hit out of the hobby, which you can usually pull a auto, I didn't get an auto. I got a patch card of Beast Mortos. So
that's cool, though. It's not worth anything, but it's cool.
I mean, it is, but
that's cool. I like those kind of cards.
Yeah, so
I have an EO Sky card autograph. If anybody is interested, DM me. I forgot that I had that, which is pretty dope.
I've got a Ricky Morton card autograph. What nobody getting? Fuck you. That's mine.
I was gonna say nobody cares, but maybe nobody's getting it.
My Shibata patch card that I got.
Oh, you got a Shibata patch card too? That's cool. So. Is that a plastic hardcover for that thing?
It is. It doesn't fit it properly because the thing is so thick, but it holds it well enough. She said.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Not to you.
Okay.
Not to you.
You've never heard that in your life, JGold.
Thank God. I was waiting for JHawk to make a comment.
I don't think any of us have ever heard that in our lives. But I did do some hunting while we were not in the studio, and we will have a new Sometimes co-host starting in October. I won't announce who it is yet, but so that's going to happen. So we'll have a new Sometimes co-host to join us in October.
None of us were consulted about this, by the way. Just want to let the audience know.
He's trying to find my replacement, and I keep missing show.
I was going to say, JHawk.
She has been on before, though, so it's not somebody completely new. So
might be Jocelyn Navarro. We say she, could be anybody.
Yeah,
could be MJ Santana.
Do you imagine Jocelyn being on the show weekly? We'd be in so much trouble.
It would be great. It would be like when Tom Lawler does Brian Alvarez's show.
She'd be getting us in trouble.
Yes,
I can
absolutely.
just
tell. You're lucky. You're lucky you have me this week. But I'm supposed to be in Vegas this week, and shit fell through. But
sorry.
Yeah, tell us about the Cauliflower Alley bullshit that you wanted to tell us about before we get into Patreon shoutouts.
Well, so I've gotten several messages along the line of I'm having fun, and basically complaining about the organization of shit out there this week. So the big guest was supposed to be Ric Flair, who the story is that he couldn't fly out because of a blood clot in his leg. I think that's just Wendy going, it's not smart for you to go to Vegas for 3 days with the way you've been acting normally the last couple months, so maybe stay home. But
like his tweet where he was welcoming Wendy back was normal.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, go. I got he accepted his award via Gloom, and there is that. I was told that they like have a little video about whoever it is getting whatever reward. I guess they're all fucking AI this year. Like they don't like even the voiceover is AI. Like couldn't I'm like you. I know you're nonprofit, but you can't like get a volunteer to do the voiceover. Like
Ew.
I
Yeah.
know
The only voiceover
ton of-
person that volunteered was JHawk, and they were like, "Yeah, we'd rather have a robot talk than him."
That's just it. Like they didn't put out any feelers. Hey, our normal guy can't do it.
Oh.
The company wants to do the voiceover.
I would have
They've been
done it. Butters would have
been-
done it.
They've been doing a lot of the AI flyers and shit too. So it's just like
They should have got Pedro to do it.
Yeah. I would have done it for free. Reach out there, Cauliflower.
Dombrowski's their MP. He couldn't have recorded shit for you.
Yeah,
That's
Dombrowski
weird.
could have done it. Yeah, I mean,
That's
he's-
weird.
Yeah.
Go. A lot of little shit like that. I've been hearing bits and pieces of. Go. Everybody having fun because they all love hanging out and seeing each other. But
All those guys are going to be dead in 2 years anyway, so it won't matter. Most of the Cauliflower Alley Club.
Patreon shout outs. Zach, Bagelmonger, Paul, and of course, Patty.
Hey, Patty. Patty, we love you. Thank you for making us happy last week, even though Butters and I said you don't like listening to the show anymore. Patty rules.
She responded to that.
Yes, she
said
did.
It,
Patty
she said
rules.
it was your fault.
Right. She said, your fault, you pathetic loser.
you're used to hearing that from your wife. Now you're hearing it from
That's
Patty
right.
too. What the fuck?
I heard it just before I came down here. Oh, you're about to do your show, you loser. And that was the end of that. Anyway.
I like that even though he has a house, he still just is a basement dweller.
That's right. Well, where else am I going to do this? You want to hear Harper and her dopey friend running around all night? I can hear them.
I think you could do it in the sewers in New York with the rest of your people. They're hiding under there, coming out like Ninja Turtles.
They're going to catch them. I'd like to know who they are, who keep coming out from the sewers. They have better understanding of the sewers than the turtles, for real.
Don't let Butters get to you. The only reason he doesn't do his in a basement, he doesn't have a basement.
Well, he's lucky.
I have
My
a
basement
professional office. You both are basement dwelling nerds
true.
in your 40s. So
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But it's not my mom's basement. It's my own basement. Go fuck you.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna say it's your girlfriend's basement. Just because I feel like you're the bread loser in the relationship.
Hey,
Oh, Lord.
I wear the pants in my relationship. She tells me what pair, but I do wear them.
That's
Mhm.
good. I like that joke. That's more JHawk speed right there. I like that.
Yeah.
What's on this weekend?
All right, we got this weekend, Saturday, the 29th of August, 6 p.m. Ground Zero 585 presents Dunn and Marcos Cup 2026. It's a tag team tournament. That's Wild Zero and Ground Zero. And let's see. Here's some of the stuff. We get production: Derek and Katie versus Edge of Hope, Starstruck versus Starburst, Miracle Generation versus High Seas, Chael Connors versus Percy Pergold, and Cheech versus Pat Sawyer. And that is all on Saturday at 6 o'clock Eastern on the Independent Wrestling Television Network. Presented by Ground Zero 585.
I am also going to stick with IWTV. We got Friday night, 8:30 Eastern. New Technic Pro presenting the Texas Indie Showcase kick. An elimination match: Carter Black, Dustin Nguyen, and the Dream Team against Timur the Great, Chris Markel, Jack Calloway, and Ike Morales. Danny Orion defends the New Technic Pro Championship against Iggy James. Charity King defending the New Technic Pro Women's Championship against Calientita and Rachel Rowe. O'Day Alcalá defending the Lone Star Championship against Jackie Funaki. A death match with Dmitry Alexandrov against Studstash. Alexis Lee against Amira. John Gallo against Ramon Romantico. And I'm going to butcher pronunciation here, even though I know I've heard them pronounced. We've reviewed one of these guys on the show. Prince Kuricki and Mokele.
That wasn't bad.
Not going to lie, I thought you were going to skip the Dunn and Marco Cup. That's the one I had up. I went, shit.
Oh, sorry, brother.
No, you're fine.
Yeah, I like that.
Doing interviewing.
Oh, we got our guest waiting. How about that? Just perfectly fits right into everything.
Yeah, let
right.
that big dummy in. Let's go.
Oh, Uncle Wilbur, JHawk's been nice to you this whole time, and JGold has just been running his mouth. It's been really bad. You need to set this guy straight.
After you come off of mute. There he is.
All right. You guys are sideways, and I don't like it.
Why now you're sideways?
Yeah, that's your sideways. No.
I said it's sideways, so that's the way you're supposed to do it if you're a pro. All right.
There he is. All right.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I mean, I'm doing mine on my laptop and not my phone. Oh, that's a little different too. But
Humble brag over here with his laptop.
You just retired and you're already showing your age.
One
what
that he's
world?
had since we've been doing this. So.
You know what? I've actually had this one for like almost 3 years. Knock on wood. So this one's been doing pretty well for me.
That is impressive. But JGold can say whatever he wants. I know damn well he's not been on the Josh Bishop diet, and I'm going to see him on Saturday and report everything. So good luck with that.
Listen, I can't eat a dozen bagels I just can't do it. I don't even like bagels. Ugh. I don't even know why would you want to do that at this point? You want to feel good about yourself. You don't want to eat a dozen bagels.
You can eat 3 large pizzas, but you can't eat a Dunkin' bagel. Come on.
There's nothing on bagels. They're just dry. I can't do it. I don't want that. I don't want cream cheese, that much cream cheese. I'm going to throw up.
He was worried about you getting into shape. He wasn't worried about me. He was concerned about you, and you defied him.
I'm in shape. I'm in shape for my age. That's it. I feel good. Yes, I have very high cholesterol. Right. That's right. Pear is definitely
max effort, dozen bagels a day. It was pretty simple, and you haven't done any of them. And I'm pretty upset about it.
Max effort. Ridiculous.
I'll give you a sort of proper intro here. Joining us this week, the now retired Uncle Wilbur Whitlock is joining us to discuss his post wrestling career and how it just continued to be like they just wanted to keep him going. Like he was retired and they wanted to beat him up on the very next show. Like they weren't done with him.
Yeah, well, we can get right into that. But yeah, as Izzy Lambert mentioned, he's like, brother, you're getting booked more in retirement. You know, it's like what. I said, yeah, you're getting my non-bumping rate. It's a little bit friendlier.
Well, so confirm it though. You're retired from in-ring competition, but you're still hanging around. I mean,
yeah. I'm the old guy at the party that you can't stop from hanging around.
He has to agent, or we have issues where people do suplexes into finishes for 4 out of 8 matches and dives in 5 matches.
Yeah, I had to be a GM, up north at OCW that night, so I wasn't able to conduct my agenting duties at Neo Pro, and the whole damn thing fell apart. So yeah, I still need to be everywhere, doing everything.
So you felt that way too, huh? You didn't like those finishes?
I was only told about him, and Stu Butters, who was not happy about it. But then, to be fair, if it went down the way that he told me, I'm not happy about it either. That's what we're there for. I mean, when the guys are putting their matches together, they want to do the best they can, and it's all great in their head. They're probably all good finishes. I don't think anybody knew that everybody was thinking the same thing, and that's the job of somebody like me to go around and just make sure everybody's at least kind of on the same page. And didn't happen, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
If there's ever a next time like that, I might have to just walk around with you on speaker on my phone, and then they have to tell you what's going on so you can pull double duty from wherever.
Tell what you're thinking. Yeah, the last guy did that. No, don't do that.
That's what Struggles told us at ETU. They have to put up a sign, no dives on the ramp, and everybody dives on the ramp. And he says, stop diving on the ramp, and yet they still do it.
Because it's a cool spot and everybody wants to do it. I mean, it's hard to fault any of the guys or girls for wanting to go out there and put on the best show they want to put on. But at the same time, yeah, for the greater good of the entire show, you need to have a little bit of structure. It's not fun. You're not the most popular guy in the locker room doing that, but that's okay. It's, again, for the greater good of the show.
Well, the problem is everybody doing all the game, but then none of the matches are any good because they're all the game at that point. People forget that part of it.
Exactly. And, you hope guys will be pros and understand that. And 9 times out of 10, they do. But then, guys are still going to go and do whatever the fuck they want and ask for forgiveness instead of permission. And that comes with the territory, too. I've done it. Yeah. I've absolutely done it. I know what my time has been and knew that the match was going really well. I wouldn't go out there and just stay out there long while I'm stinking up the joint. But, I know we're going long, but this is pretty good. And I'll just eat the shit in the back later.
Every match should end with a cutter, right, Butters? Should do a cutter on every match. Somebody, some springboard cutter, something.
And well, the thing when you referee show too, you end up kind of being the de facto agent half the time, especially a smaller show. And I don't know how many times guys been going over the match. I'm like, yeah, the guy in the match I just did though can got 3 fucking spot, change something up. But look at my spot. Well, they've already been done. Change them up.
And then he goes to the other corner, and then he pretends to have that conversation with another group of guys that aren't there. And
if it makes you feel any better, Jared, nobody none of the fans there noticed, so I wouldn't worry about it.
That's a different crowd over there in that building in Louisville. That's an interesting crowd in there. It just looks like you're in a lobby like of a hotel. It's a very different scene in there.
It's an Eagles club, but yeah, no, it's that big ass window, which is cool. I mean, it's a cool aesthetic in a sense, and it's right on the main street in Louisville. So if you were driving down the road, you could. I mean, I hope you don't do it because you'll probably wreck, but you could look in and see wrestling, and like I think that's kind of cool. And now in the summertime where the sun's out for the majority of the show because the show starts at 6, it's kind of you watch that sunset in there again. Is it kind of a cool aesthetic? Yes, but does it kind of make for weird lighting on some of the show? I mean, it is what it is. You can't put blinds over that giant ass window. But no, I like that building a lot, actually. I think that building has really good acoustics. Again, if you get 150 people in there, you are packed to the gills, and it's loud and it's interactive. I enjoy that building quite a bit.
Let me ask you something real quick. So since you're retired now and you've been doing this so long, did you like wrestling more? Or did you feel the vibe was that's a two-parter. Did you like wrestling more in the day or at night? And where were the vibes better? Like if you were inside a building and it was daytime, is that a weirder vibe than being outside the building in the daytime and wrestling?
Yeah, well, look, and then at night, wrestling under the lights is honest. It's awesome. It's really cool. Now, but just we say, what do I prefer now? Especially as I've gotten older, we all prefer being done in the day. You get your show done, you get your payday. Hopefully, you get a good crowd, and then you go along with your day. Usually to another booking because we like to wear it on our sleeves that we double shotted that day. But so as I gotten older, you enjoy those day shows, especially if you can have a productive show. But yeah, like when you wrestle at night, again, OCW does a lot of the summer shows. They have the one that's in Mogador. It's at basically like a fair, and it always ends up under the lights. And like there's the lights of the Ferris wheel and shit in the background, and you're like, you can't help but think this is kind of cool,
Yeah.
It's of course weather depending when you're outside. That's always unpredictable no matter where you are, especially in the Midwest or in the Northeast. You always kind of got the weather determining what you do outdoors for outdoor shows. But no, I enjoy it. I enjoy wrestling, quote unquote, under the lights. And I know we had some questions, and that's actually probably going to a little bit later. I got some good stories about that later as well.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you what's the worst weather you wrestled in?
Oh, the one OCW show was a straight up torrential downpour. And of all shows, it was a one-night tournament sort of thing that I was, of course, wrestling all 3 matches in. So, you just try to get in and get out and be safe, to be honest with you. And to the crowd that did pay and did stay, you owed them a show. So, I wrestled the first match, and then, I'm just so excited to take my wet, stinky boots off and my wet pads, and I'm like, oh shit, I can't. I got to go out there and do this 2 more times. That one was my least favorite, except for Gino DiCapo and I had a match where there was literally a puddle in the middle of the ring, and he tried to drown me in it. That was pretty fun. That was a fun. And we both saw it. We both kind of knew. We're just kind of looking at each other and be like, drown me in that puddle. Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a puddle in the ring. You got to use it.
Oh, I like that.
Ever get into a ring go flooded that it's just gaining water, no matter what you did, the entire ring will come puddle?
And by the end of that show, it absolutely was. And then so now of course you just take bumps in the puddle. I mean, we took Beals in the puddle. Gino went for a big senton in the puddle. We're just splashing in the giant puddle. You worked around the puddle. You made the puddle was over.
The ring gets slippery though, right? That's hard to it's hard to work in.
We're circling, just walking, and I almost bit it and tore up some of my leg. And I go, yeah, we're not running. I mean, you just can't. I mean, you got to go real delicate. Again, get in, get out, stay safe. That's really all you can do when you have a show like that. And what's funny is I can tell you these stories, and majority of guys probably have a similar story. If you're outside, again, whatever crowd is there that is there to see a show, you got to try to give them a show to the best of your ability.
Ever have to do that shit on a vinyl canvas?
Fortunately, no. I think one of the only people that had the vinyl canvas was Dave from Mid-Ohio that I recall. I'm sure I wrestled on some other way, and he never did outdoor shows. So fortunately, I think I never combined those two. That would have been beautiful.
What is the point of that, by the way? From JHawk and what is the point of that vinyl? Why was that even? Why did that ever become a thing? That
easy cleanup.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very, very easy cleanup, and it's not really slippery like you'd think it would be. Like you think, yeah, you'd be slipping and sliding and be kind of dangerous. It's really not that bad. Indoors, I guess I should say.
Right.
Yeah, I was on an outdoor show with a vinyl camping. We end up having to cut that one short, but like no one could keep their footing once it got wet. It was ridiculous. But
I can't. But like it looks like it's not. It doesn't stretch like the regular canvas. It always looks like whenever you see the old AIW videos and like the old videos, somebody with one of those, it always looks like they're stepping in it and it just kind of gives way. And it's not pulled taut, and it just looks dangerous every time I see those videos.
Well, any canvas that isn't pulled taut is going to be dangerous. So you gotta, I never really had that issue though.
Oh, okay. I maybe it's just because those shows that used to have those vinyls were almost like, it was almost like you just felt like it was so outlaw looking that they just did it like that. It was so weird.
No, they're not.
That's
they're
that
really
spot.
not
Cedric
bad.
Alexander. When Cedric Alexander did the backbreaker to Candice LeRae, that was on a black vinyl canvas.
I'll take your word for it, pal.
I'm just running through. I'm trying to get my head wrapped around it. I'm just thinking. Butters, you can shake your head all you like. You talk. Give me something. Help me out.
Butters wants to get into the meat and potatoes of things, where we talked about immediately after retirement and how I was going to get who I wanted to kick my ass immediately after I retired, which is fun.
Yeah. So Wilbur's supposed to come out. Like what I was told was like he's going to come out and announce this tournament, right? We're going to have this tournament, and he's supposed to come out and relinquish the belt because he had retired at the previous show that he won the title at. And like just hearing like bits and pieces like that, there was like multiple ideas from multiple people of like this person should come out and whoop his ass to get heat, and it's just like, why? He just retired. Like it's the last thing you should be thinking of doing. Why right away? Like why? It's so generic. Just stop.
Well, and so with Neo Pro, and like I don't say this like trying to absolutely like bury horsepower stuff in the back, but like Neo Pro like it was very beneficial being in Canton, where I'm from. I'm over in my hometown, okay? Like so, and I used a lot of that credo to really build up our fan base to kind of get us in the door. And they were invested in everything that I did while in Neo Pro. And really, it was my end game was like I want to help put the footprint of good wrestling in my hometown. And once I knew that I gave all that I could with my body, like here, it's yours. Like that was the end game in mind for me. And so, I thought we did a pretty good job. And then I busted my leg up, very early last year, and probably came back. I know I came back way too soon. But I was just like, well, I don't want to go out like that. I gotta, I want to go out, tell a good story on the way out. And basically, again, deliver the company like here, now we have a good wrestling company in our hometown. Enjoy. I can be at peace with that. And then, so immediately after my last match, it's like, here comes the ideas of, what if we have da-da-da-da-da and they lay you out? And I'm like, can I get one show without getting my ass kicked? Like one? That's all I'm asking. Yeah, and I did. I got it from the office, got it from the boys of all these ideas. Hey, wouldn't it be good if we got a little heat if we came out and kind of slapped you around? I'm like, go get over on your own. God damn it. Like, let me be done.
A couple of years from now, you don't do it on the first fucking night back. Defeat the entire purpose. Nobody couldn't believe you retired. You're taking a bump your first show after.
Well, and that's part of the point. I'm like, and then what? Like, you're not going to get a payoff because I'm not going to wrestle again. You're not going to get a payoff, and so can we do it eventually and have it make sense? And if it make it really matter, I mean, absolutely, it can be all that sort of thing can always be on the table. Flair got his ass kicked all the time in his retirement, like, to help get, help get some heels over. And but again, if you do it too often, it's overdone. If you do it right away, it's definitely jumping the shark. And then again, as far as what a payoff is going to be, as far as a match or, any sort of comeback, like that's not going to happen. So, but again, just give me one show where I don't get my ass kicked. That's the main reason why I wanted to stop. If I could physically keep doing it, I would physically kept doing it, man. But like, it hurts and it takes its tally. And so, again, if I could have, be at a show and help be at a show and then wait, get up out of bed without everything creaking and me groaning, that would be just wonderful one time. So we're working on it. I've still taken a couple bumps since I've retired.
That's what I was going to ask you. Did you regret it at all, like instantly, or were you just like, all right, you took a breath afterwards and you're like, that's that? Or did you wake up the next day and be like, oh man, maybe
Did I in during the moment and immediately after the moment? No, not at all.
Okay.
The day or two before, when it all started to kind of weigh in, yeah, it was the doubts and things like that, because I talked to my girlfriend and I talked to my other girlfriend, Patrick Hayes, when we and where the reality kind of set in of like, man, like ever since I was like a little boy, I wanted to be a wrestler. And then ever since I was 18 years old, I have been a wrestler. And now I'm, I just turned 42, but I was 41. So my entire 40 years of my life, like all I ever wanted was either to be a wrestler, or I've been a wrestler and I've enjoyed being a wrestler. And and that's who I am. And that sort of, idealistic complex of like, if I'm not after Saturday night, I'm not going to be a wrestler anymore. Well, who the fuck am I going to be? Mm-hmm. And like, that's, those are real conversations. Like that's a lot of, self-reflection in those sort of moments of like, okay, like this chapter of my life, which has just been my life, is not going to be anymore. And, I have to come, to terms with that. But immediately after, and I think the match I had with Matt Taylor, I thought was really, really good. And honestly, you guys on your review, the only thing I'm mad at is that you guys didn't give Matt Taylor more props for his fucking role in that match. I thought he was phenomenal. I mean, just as the heel, as the villain, as the whole character, and his performance in that match, I thought he was phenomenal. Was honored to have that match with him. And when I woke up in the morning, I felt okay. I felt completely at peace with everything that had happened. You can still put over Matt Taylor now. It's not too late.
Well, that was my other. My problem was that he that he lost in that tournament. I don't even know. I wasn't really sure myself what they were doing there, because I thought he was going to get another run at it. So who knows at that point where they're going to go? But I thought he would probably get another shot at the title after that.
Yeah, in fairness to that, Josh, I mean, if they were going to put the belt back on him, why would they have taken it off him? Wilbur could have gone down on it back. It wouldn't have made any difference at that point.
That's true. Yeah.
I agree. I agree. Put it back on Matt at some point, and he's going to draw at that heel, but not right away.
And I think that's what we're going for right now in NeoPro. We want it to be exciting. There's going to be a new champion. There's going to be somebody completely different. It's not going to be the same champion. So no matter what, after Saturday, there's going to be a new champion. And, if you've been paying attention, there's a story brewing right now with Matt Taylor and Trey Lamar, which, as far as I know, is not a match that's happened anywhere. And it's a match that I, as a fan, would definitely be interested in seeing. So, we got some things brewing. We got a lot of things, good things brewing, and that's was actually kind of mentioned earlier on the Facebook page of what would make somebody travel, and we kind of get to the point of telling stories on the indies, and it can be difficult, but you definitely got to try. You got to put a little meat on the bone for some of these matches that get presented on independent cards. So
yeah. I've just decided to go along with the. I'll make CJO and do a video for me every month that just recaps what's going on, and you could play it ad nauseum before the show, so people that are sitting there can see it and be like, "Oh yeah, okay, I remember what's going on with this," and then then now you know what's going on.
Give me a 60-second refresh. Sometimes that's all you need.
Right.
I think NeoPro's got some good momentum right now as far as that tournament goes. I will. You can sell me on any Trey Lamar match, to be honest, and I have been watching him for years. So anything that he's in, I enjoy very much. So I'm looking forward to, I would put a belt on him if I was booking, just because I like his style, and I think it works anywhere. So
and then Trey, I guess maybe informally, is as I mentioned, I'm from Canton, Ohio. We've never had a steady wrestling promotion in Canton. There's always been kind of around the area where guys have done pretty well, but in Canton proper, Jared can attest to this. There's never been anything that's really held a footprint down. So I'm from Canton, and I was really excited to kind of get that established. Trey is also from Canton, and Trey, generation younger than me. But I think between the two of us, we kind of, both kind of put our footprint with our, our friends and family and everything supporting us in our hometown. Trey gets around. Trey's everywhere, but he knows the same thing. It's like, it's great to have a good wrestling promotion in our hometown. And, I'm stepped aside. I'll be in the back agenting, and he's going to be the top Canton guy on the card. And we're going to see if we roll with that, if he becomes the number one guy in the company on Saturday night. Or it could be one of the other three guys, all awesome talent, man. I'm looking forward to that match.
What do you, as far as agenting goes, what do you think is the most challenging part of doing that? And now that you're not in ring, do you still have the same passion if you're agenting?
Passion is kind of a subjective thing. It's more, I think, especially at this point, everybody who knows me knows, like, I want the overall product to be as good as it possibly can. And I think, we all have egos in wrestling. If you're in wrestling, you don't have an ego, you're just a fucking liar. We all have egos in wrestling. And on the Neo Pro show, I mean, like, half that locker room has definitely, you would consider them to be more established than I was. They've made more towns and have probably been on bigger shows and everything like that. So, I think at first it can always be that, all right, well, who's this guy to tell me what I should do? But, like, I know, and it took me a long time to come around to terms of this myself. I know I'm knowledgeable. I know what I'm talking about. I've done a lot. I've seen a lot. I've worked a lot. I've watched a lot. Like, I know I have a really good idea of what I'm doing, but at the same time, I'm very, very open to get that feedback back from the talent, because and I tell everybody this, especially if they're on a Neo Pro show, I'm like, you guys know what you're doing. You're here for a reason, but, like, I'm here to just help you. I'm here to piece together, a little bit, a little of this, a little of that. And I think some of the established talent who knows that about me, when they come to me and ask for that help, and then some of the other locker room sees it, it's like, okay, yeah, all right, we're good. He knows what he's doing. He knows, and then they know that I'm here to help. I'm not here at all to try to shit on anyone's passion, on anyone's art, on anyone's idea. I want them to go out there and tell their stories and get themselves over and make some money. They know that I want that for all of them. But we do got to, as we said, we got to construe the show to try to make some sense, to not overdo things, to not wear the crowd out, to not, simplest thing is, if somebody's over with a spear in the finish of the main event, well, let's not have, if your match has 3 spears planned in the second match, like, no, we're not doing that. And guys, and again, 9 out of 10 guys or girls completely understand that, and it's pretty easy sailing. And if guys are difficult to work with, I mean, like, I'm office. I can, like, hey, listen, like, this was, they didn't handle this in the best way. And, I'm not going to try to dog a guy or a girl for the rest of their careers, but it will be noted. And, like, hey, listen, like, that's not how we handle business. You're going to want to work on this in the future for yourself, not just for us and Neo Pro. You're going to want to work on that for yourself. And I hope that stuff gets through. I'd like to think that it does.
Sounds like working with Butters. Jeez. Just all the time.
Once I realized I had access to Wilbur, I now send him my ideas, and then he shoots me back, like, the feedback that I need to hear, whether it's good or bad, and then I can kind of tweak from there. So, like, he's my go-to for, like, what I want to try to do in the future, and I'm excited for what I have, my idea wise. And I actually came up with some more stuff that we had talked about before. I got another layer to it that I'm excited to tell him about eventually. So,
and that's usually what it is. Usually, especially if you're coming from that creativity mind, and that goes for a booker or for the talent, and we all have our creativity, and you want to be able to transmit that to a crowd. I don't ever want to shit on that. And it very, very rarely is it's like, boy, that's a bad idea. It's usually a good idea that just needs a little wrinkle and just needs a little of this. And then if I'm able to provide that and explain why, well, now you pass that knowledge on to somebody else. And that's all this shit is, man. It's just passing knowledge down to each other. All this stuff that I know was taught to me by somebody, or it was something that I've learned positively or negatively along the way, and it's like, yeah, that worked, or that definitely didn't work, and now I know, and transmit that information down the line.
So who's the one person you think gave you the best piece in your sense?
Man, I will tell you, it was probably X-Pac. I mean, there you go. Talk about a guy who knows more than me, right? Like, and if I told this story before in the last pod, I apologize, but we had a 6-man tag main event for a show in Akron, and the guys running the show, like, they had ambitions of running multiple shows. They wanted me to be one of the top heels, and they wanted me to be up in the main event. And X-Pac's coming in, like, and he's like, I'm not big leaguing anybody, but it's your first show. We should send the crowd home happy. And the guys were kind of disagreeing with him, and I'm talking to Sean, and he's, kind of explaining to me, like, hey, listen, like, we send them home happy. We send the kids home with smiles on their faces. They're going to want to talk about it, to their parents. The parents are going to they're going to look for the next show because we made the kids happy. It's like, if you want to plan down the road, And he was very generous to me. He's like, you brother, you can hit your finish because it was a 6-man tag and have him break it up, like have you look strong. I'm fine with all of that. But it's like, you have to understand, for this being the first show, the main objective is to give that crowd what they want today and want them to come back for more. And then we can establish who our top bad guys and our top good guys are. And I'm like, yeah, I'm all for it. And at that point I was just talent, but I'm like, I want all these promotions to last and I want them to draw crowds because that's just more opportunities for the guys. Mm-hmm. And, you know, that was put into a perspective of the greater good of the show and the greater good of the crowd is more important than establishing one guy tonight. Even if that guy was me, I'm like, yeah, that absolutely. That makes so much sense.
Oh, that's cool. I've heard a lot of people say nothing but good things about X-Pac. So
no, if you get a chance to get under his learning tree, you absolutely have to do
to Big Sam told us X-Pac had him put on the leather pants and grow the beard. So, you know, he's not wrong.
And he probably looked at Sam that day, probably never met him before, and just looked at him and goes, this is what would work for you. And then everybody who's seen Sam since then has kind of been like, yeah, he went from like, okay, he looks like this big athletic blue chip kid to like, no, that is a bad dude. Like he looks menacing now. And that came from Sean Waltman, who had I'm pretty certain I probably never met him until that day and just had one look and it's like, this is what you need. And that's the shit. Like some guys just have that. And
I mean, how do you even get that? How do you get that?
Experience, man, experience. And you're going to be wrong sometimes. That's the other thing. You're going to have to throw some stuff out there and be wrong and know you're wrong and learn from it and go, yeah, I kind of thought this before and that didn't work out the way I thought it would. And now you just retain the knowledge, positive and negatively. And a guy like Sean Waltman he's been around the business since he was a kid and a literal kid and has accumulated that knowledge in his own world, you know, positively and negatively on all, you know, he's done so many things right and done so many things wrong. And so I'm sure he knows how to convey that to people.
So give me the worst idea that you tried to put in execution and how did it fail?
Oh man, you can't put me on the spot like that. You can't put me on the spot.
This is what we're here for. This is the post-retirement tour. I need to hear it.
Well, I mean, it won't be anything that ever seen the light of day. It'll most likely be something where, all right, this is the emotion I want to see out of you in a promo, like, and this would be like a pre-tape promo. Like, I need to see like this element of your character or this emotion coming out for this match. And I still might think it was the right idea, but to give it to that individual talent and it came out of him and be like, boy, that was fucking horrible. Like, that was horrible and it's my fault. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that was not, you know, ice cream and steak are great, but you don't put them together sometimes. And it's that sort of thing. As far as an actual straight up booking idea of, you know, what did we try, what worked, what didn't, you know, nothing's really coming to mind. I can probably think of something and deliver that for you later.
Yeah. The worst idea he ever had with the first Dropkick Diabetes show when he wanted to beat the shit out of Mac Alexander's kid. I'm fucking with you.
That's the best idea I've ever had. That's been a 10-year storyline.
And that every time they do a Dropkick Diabetes, they play back off that first show, and it's fucking great. But
yeah, and I'm being serious here. That's me thinking like anybody can pick a fight and start a feud with a worker. I'm gonna pick a fight and start a feud with the whatever he was, a 6-year-old kid or 7-year-old kid at the time with diabetes.
Yeah.
And tell him that he's the real booker and he's a bully and create and just like, I don't try that. I
like that. Yeah. And why the hell not?
That's been a 10-year feud. He's brought in Madman Fulton to kick my ass. He's brought in Maven to eliminate me from a battle royal. I mean, it's been a feud that just keeps on giving.
Madman Fulton, that guy did a lot of good after he left WWE. Came back and did a lot of good across the indies for a while. So
he's still going. He's still doing good things.
Isn't he? He's a football coach or something on a shoot. And there was a story run about him, wasn't there?
I know he's he's got a beautiful young family down in Florida and everything. Mm-hmm. But he still comes back up this way and does a lot of stuff. He'll actually be in Canton next Saturday for a autism awareness show.
Oh no shit. Okay.
I think he's working with. Who's he working with? Jared, did you see that card?
I've not. I know of the show, but I haven't seen the lineup for it.
Silas something. It's another big guy. I can't remember.
If I call it, I would probably know it. Like I haven't actually seen the card. I know they're bringing Dan Spivey in for a meet and greet for that. And
yeah. That's one that I want. That's one that I never seem to be in the right place for Danny Spivey at the right time. That's a picture I really want.
Yeah, well, Madman Fulton, Wilbur and I were on show with Madman Fulton before he got kind. He worked Mid Ohio regularly before he got kind. So
great dude.
Yeah,
giant
really,
dude. Butters,
yeah.
what questions do we got for Wilbur online?
We got a bunch of questions actually from the Facebook. So first up from Nathaniel Schmidt, he'd like to know your take on Starcade 99.
You know, I need to go back and watch Starcade 99. And
Starcade 99.
That's the Brett Goldberg kicking the fucking head. And you know, I've gone back and watched that. I probably watched the whole show sometime on the network, but I don't recall. I don't know what he wants. I don't know what he wants from me. Goldberg kicked him in the fucking head. And it's led to, God, that was 99, it's 2026. It's led to 27 years of comedy, man, because there's still just anything bad that happens in your life, blame Bill Goldberg.
This is a terrible card anyway.
There's a comedian that does a Bret Hart impression, and he had a video today where he was at like a Barnes and Noble, and he was just like looking through stuff, and he was just talking shit on Shawn and Goldberg, and I was just cackling the entire time because like he saw something that was like, something was like it was a Tops something, and he's just like, well, you know, Shawn Michaels was a bottom. And then it was like the movie The Marine with John Cena, and he was just like, there was that time when Shawn got like sexually beat up by like all those Marines, and just like, oh, it's so fucking funny. Every time he always takes it back to either Shawn or
you know, Shawn and Vince used to have tickle fights.
Yeah, shit like that. And just so fucking funny.
That's a me and Hayes thing, where usually after quite a few beverages at night, where we just start talking to each other like Bret Hart, not doing Bret Hart promos, just talking like Bret Hart, right. And then you know, blame everything on Bret or on Shawn, Vince, or Bill Goldberg.
Now, is there still goodwill for Bret Hart, or are people kind of like, you know, this guy's kind of whiny after a while?
I mean, I think he's that uncle. You know what I mean? Like, he's that uncle. Like, we love Uncle Brett. Uncle Brett can't let go of shit, but we love him.
Yeah, if you were a fan of Bret Hart in the moment, you're okay with what he's doing. And if you were a Shawn Michaels guy, you're like, what the fuck are you doing? I think it really works.
I'm a Shawn Michaels guy, but I'm not like, what the fuck is he doing? I'm just like, eventually do you just say to Bret, you got to stop complaining and start being positive? But
nope, I think it's funny. I think every time he does it just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
You know,
it's become like a meme now.
You know who also didn't eat his bagels every day?
Oh, here we go.
Bill Goldberg.
I'm pretty positive Goldberg ate his bagels. If you could look at the size of that dude. And yes, I'm not eating those bagels.
Yeah, that Starcade 99 card, I'm looking to recall that right now. God, that was not a good card.
Dude, all I saw was the Mamalukes with Tony Marinara against Disco Inferno and Lash LaRue. Holy moly.
You got Maduka and Evan Courageous.
Norman Smiley beat Meng by pinfall.
I don't know.
The big wiggle, baby.
Holy moly.
Moving on, Joe Hirschberger asks, your favorite venue to work throughout your career? Was there extra excitement working in an arena like the Canton Civic Center?
So, you know, the bad thing is like I wrestled at the Canton Civic Center in like my third match, you know.
I was going to say, you told us your first match was in like a huge building, right?
It was like my third match ever. And so I probably was a little bit spoiled in that regard. And I know we talked about it before. It was just like, oh, this is indie wrestling. This is what I do now. I get to work at these arenas with 2,500 people. This is what I do. No, that is not what you fucking do. But so again, I got that, shut up, Popper. No, so I probably, you know, I think I was a little bit jaded or just a little bit spoiled. Because it wasn't like one of those, like, I've been on the scene, on the circuit for 5-6 years, and I finally get to work in this big arena with all these names. That was my third match. And I mean, cool. I'm not at all mad at it. And yes, I did. I loved working at the Canton Civic Center. It's awesome. There's a lot of actual real history in that building. But as far as some other cool buildings that we used to work at, I mean, you know, 90% of it, man, it's your armories in your high schools and but for Addicted to Wrestling was the promotion that Toby Klein and we call him Big B, but Deranged ran out of the Mount Vernon, Mount Gilead, like Bucyrus, Central Ohio area. And they had this Boys and Girls Club that was just this absolutely gorgeous old building, man, with big windows and high ceilings and just incredible acoustics. And there was literally no way to get the ring in there without having the what's the gimmick that like the roofers have where you gotta basically lift it up through a window up on the second floor. That part wasn't so fun. But if Toby listens to that building they had for Addicted to Wrestling about 3-4 years ago was just an awesome building, a great building for wrestling.
Right. Well, favorite MCW matches / memories from Michael Contos.
Yeah, so Contos trained at the very end of the MCW school, so he I'm sure he went to some shows as a fan. We had some really cool ones, and we had some stuff looking back where you're like, wow, I can't believe that happened on those shows. For me personally, I had a Singapore Cane match on a pole with the mighty Jebediah. That was odd. It was one of those like. They were barely poles. You just had to climb the middle rope and grab these canes. So we're like, it's going to look stupid if we don't grab these canes. So we eventually just got all 4 of these canes, just beat the living shit out of each other, and then decide, try to figure out ways to be innovative where it's like, can I do a tope with a cane? I'm like, we're going to find out. So I just launched myself like Superman and clothesline the shit out of him with the cane. That one was probably one of my personal favorite matches. Nigel McGuinness was actually really good friends with Shasta, with my trainer and the owner of MCW. So we had him in all the time before he, blew up and got to Ring of Honor and everything like that. And then after his post run, even into TNA, like we booked him as Desmond Wolf. He wrestled my good friend Zach, who was Christian Vaughn. They had just a standard one-on-one match. It was actually on the same night I had that cane match, where for me, it was just really cool watching my buddy because I'm like, I knew how serious he took that match. And it's like, you're not going to keep up with Nigel, but, you'll do the best you can. And to his credit, he did everything he could to keep up with Nigel that night. And Nigel always had a great time coming in and working. So it was always cool seeing Nigel there. I have a lot of good memories with the late Brain Damage during those shows. And if you guys have ever gone back and watched any classic deathmatch wrestling, man, like some of the old, like the CZW stuff from the mid 2000s into like the early teens, Brain Damage was a staple there. He was right there with Necro and Toby and all those guys. And the sweetest human being, just the sweetest human being. He was terrifying looking, and terrifying if he was coming across the ring at you. But like to know Marv was just an absolute pleasure. I don't think anybody has a bad personal thing to say about him. So when I kind of think back of some of those MCW memories, I like to think about the experiences I had with some of the guys I was able to share locker rooms and share rings with. I know there's so many more, and I feel I'd like to elaborate on some more. They brought in a lot of names before it became really popular. The Civic Center shows had AJ Styles in 2002 as TNA was just blowing up, where I'm like, this is the best wrestler I've ever seen, and he's here. And he wrestled my buddy, his name was Shane Sensation, still one of my really, really close friends. Same thing, where it's just like, this is my friend. This is one of my best friends, and he's going out there with the best wrestler. And he probably wasn't at that time, but still, to me, it's like, this is the best wrestler in the world and one of my best friends. And they're out there wrestling, in front of 2,000 people at the Civic Center. Like, how cool is this? And so even then, being at that point, I'm like 18 years old, but even then, I kind of knew like, I want to be a wrestler because I want to be a wrestler, but man, it's really cool seeing people I care about get to live their dreams too. I got to learn that at a real early age, being at MCW. I'll have other matches when I can think of them, but yeah, those are the ones that come to mind first.
Jocelyn would like to know why she is your favorite wrestler.
I told her we try to keep these pods like under like 90 minutes. I got, what I should. What I should do is I should sit here and tell you all the great things about MJ and then not say anything to Jocelyn, just see how that pans out on Saturday.
Okay, you don't want to get your ass kicked right now. Okay, you might not want to do that. That's a good
point. That's a very fair point. They could both take me, so I should probably not say anything bad about either. No, but I will. I saw that and I laughed. But I met Jocelyn when she first started training. She started training at Mega, a while back. I think it was like maybe 2015, 16 or so.
Something like that, yeah.
And I met her then when she was real young, and Charles Brandon X used to put some of the training videos online. It was before they had the official turmoil, but he would share some of the training videos, and he'd ask me to watch and kind of just see what I think. And I seen Jocelyn, and I was like, man, you got something here. And he's says like, well, she's real green. I was like, no, I was like, she can't wrestle, but she wasn't expected to be able to wrestle. She was, a couple months in. It's like, no, she can't wrestle yet. But I'm like, you have something here. Like that girl just has something. And this is, she was a baby at that point. So she hadn't really found who Jocelyn was at all by that point, but you could still just see a raw natural charisma and that's the shit that can't be taught, and now we all know Joss and who she is now. And like, that's always been Joss, but it just, of course took a minute for her to find her voice. And when she did, now she doesn't shut up. I say that with love. So I know I got to see her when she first started, and then she went up to the IW Academy and enhanced her training. And I try to follow the scene as much as I can, but like you can't watch everything. And so I hadn't seen any of her stuff for a little while, for a few years, and then I seen her like do some AIW stuff, and I'm like, okay, like yeah, like now she's put it together. Now she can wrestle. She got better. You're always getting better in the ring, but I was like, there's the girl that found her confidence. Like I could see not exactly who she became, but I knew there was just that girl's got something. That girl has confidence for days. That girl believes in herself. That girl's going to work her ass off. Like that's like I could see that from the beginning, and it wasn't really surprising to see her do and continue to do as well as she's done. And yeah, as I said, she's found her voice. And so if you're on any sort of show with her and there is a microphone, everybody will know what Jocelyn's voice is like. If you've ever been in a pre-show meeting with Jocelyn, you will know what Jocelyn's voice is like, because she always has something to contribute to the pre-show meetings. Yeah, Jocelyn, man, just I don't know, 100% talent, 100% nonsense, 100% hustle. I know the math doesn't work out, but that's Joss, and I not my favorite wrestler because I can't do that. That's not fair, but she is amongst my favorites. I was very, very, very big on her coming to Neo Pro. I was very happy to see her there. Matter of fact, I think the last show before she debuted at Neo Pro was one of those Diamond Royale shows, and I seen her and I gave her a hug, and I was like, I'm so excited you're finally going to be here. And she's like, yeah, I'm excited to be here too. And so it's been a hell of a ride, and I look forward to seeing Joss every time I'm at a show, even if she bullies me a little bit.
If Jocelyn doesn't bully somebody, I think she doesn't like them. So.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah. No, Jocelyn came in the one time, and I know she was upset about something that had nothing to do with the show. She was just, kind of in a bad mood. And she kind of came through, kind of was just like a freight train coming through the locker room. And I was like, oh, I ain't going to get in her way. And then so 5 minutes later, we're out by the ring, and she goes, why didn't you say hi to me? And I was like, you're furious. Like, I wasn't about to stop you, but I still got yelled at for not saying hi. I wasn't going to argue it.
Hell no.
Did need my ass kicked before the show.
Nolan Ryan wants to know what makes a good finish in your eyes.
Dan, I saw that question, and that's a good question, right? That's a loaded question, because you can, to put it simply, a good finish really, you need to do one of two things. You either need to give the crowd a definitive conclusion, or you need to give them something that's going to make them excited to see what happens next. And if you do it really well, you could do both. Like, think about Brett and Stone Cold at WrestleMania 13. You know what I mean? Like, there's the fit. And I don't know if he means like what sequence in the ring constitutes a good finish. I think those are few and far between. Again, WrestleMania 13 is one you can remember. Everybody knows what happens there, right? You got the sharpshooter, you got Austin passing out from the blood. So there you have a conclusive finish. Brett was the better man that night, but Austin never submitted, and you couldn't wait to tune in Monday to see what happened next. Like, that's a finish that, as we sit here as all wrestling fans and we say Brett and Stone Cold WrestleMania 13, you know the finish. That's how it becomes memorable, is not necessarily what just happened in the ring to get to that finish, but what was the resolution, and as I mentioned, are we excited to see what happens next? Trying to think some other really good examples of that, where when you talk about like what's a great finish, like, again, you can kind of count them on one hand of like, oh, I remember the finish to this match, the Shelton Benjamin Shawn Michaels finish. Everybody remembers that. Like, so if you're those guys in the back and you think this is going to be really fucking cool, this is going to be awesome, we're going to get the crowd, this finish is going to be great, moves wise, it might be. You know, it might be, and you might get the big pop, and you might, get a really good reaction, and that's great. But if you can give a finish that where everybody remembers, oh yeah, that match was this finish because you got something there. Butters, you were in the house for the Trey Lamar crash match in Louisville, and then you and JGold reviewed that. I don't know if JHawk saw that one or not. That was a match where I was, I'm watching it as an agent. I'm watching to see, I know what those guys are going to do. And I'm like, that sounds pretty good. Let's see. And I knew, and I even told Trey, I was like, make sure when you get him up, when you actually lift him, like it needs to be built and you need to be selling because it needs to be like you got everything in your body to get that moment. And then they delivered it way better than I could have expected. Like that right there, that was a fucking finish. Like, and it was it was the meat and potatoes of the match that led to why that finish was so impactful, and it resonated with the crowd. The crowd lost their minds, and I couldn't credit those two guys enough for that. That was the best, I think, at least moment I had seen Trey resonate, and I hadn't seen a whole lot of Crash, but that was probably the best I had seen him as well. And those guys, 2 thumbs up from me. So yeah, what constitutes a good finish? It's if you can get something that the crowd will remember and feel satisfied with the resolution and or want to see what happens next in your story with your finish, I think that's what constitutes a good finish of a match.
I like when it comes out of left field and Seth Rollins cashing in Money in the Bank at the main event of WrestleMania. I didn't see it coming. And as soon as he came out, like you knew something was about to go down and something real special was about to happen for that. And everything it worked so well. And I didn't see that coming. And I was so happy with it because I didn't want either of the other guys in the match to win. So I was really happy that Seth was going to win the belt.
It's a good example.
I still think the best finish I've ever seen, and it's from my favorite indie match, was Dom and Bishop at Slumber Party Massacre. And Dom was cuffed to the ring and Bishop was pouring gasoline on him. And I actually thought, because it was WrestleMania weekend, that we were on fire. And I thought Bishop was lighting Dom on fire. And Dom, I think he quit. It was an I Quit match or something. And that was still to this day.
Surrender. It was Dom's specialty.
That's what it was.
And he had lighter fluid sprayed on him. Yeah.
Yeah. I thought he was going to light him on fire. And to this day, that's one of my favorite finishes ever. I was so nervous. I'm like, oh my God, they're going to light someone on fire here. They get thrown out of the building. Like I legit thought Bishop was going to light him on fire. So great. That's a good finish for me.
And that was a product of a well-built match. As we said, it was no surrender. It's Dom's specialty. So how are they going to get there? Dom's going to have these submissions, and Dom's not ever going to quit. So how are they going to get there? And then by the time they got there, you were still left in suspense of are they actually going to pull this off?
Yeah.
And so there you go. I mean, it built the suspense level up for you the entire way until it delivered. So, I mean, and a great finish to him. I mean, this is not, this is day 5 stuff. This isn't, news. You can have a mediocre or almost shitty match, but if you capitalize with a really good finish, it's same way with a movie. The movie can be, and it was okay, but man, that ending, like that, it's how it resonates with you as you're leaving, as it concludes. If you can deliver a really good finish to a match, but on the flip side, man, everything was great, but then they quote unquote botched that finish, or that finish just didn't get over the way you thought it would, because sometimes you have a really good idea where you want to tell this story and you think this story is going to resonate, and then they either don't get it or they don't like it, and you get that flat feeling after that finish. It's a pretty deflating feeling, and those are going back to what we talked about at the beginning, those are the things that you got to learn. You got to learn from them. Sometimes you got to learn them the hard way. You had this really good idea. You thought it was a great idea. You thought it was going to resonate. You thought it was going to get the crowd, roaring, and they sat on their hands for it. It didn't work. Put that one in the back pocket. Don't do it again, or don't, or at least tinker it and try to make it better.
You just described M. Night Shyamalan's entire movie catalog. So that's a good. It's either a really good build and a terrible ending, or a really bad build and a good ending. That's all we got.
Sometimes you can be too cute for your own good.
That's
right.
An
M. Night Shyamalan movie, and that's a finish to a match. Sometimes you can be too cute for your own good.
The Village. That's exactly The Village.
I mean, I'm showing my age here with this reference, but the first really memorable finish I can remember is Hogan Andre on NBC, the Twin Referee.
That's creativity. That's creative.
Yeah, but that was Hogan's already beaten Andre. You think he's going to beat Andre again, but how is he going to beat Andre again? And then it's like, well, they found a way to get the belt off Hogan without actually beating Hogan. And now, okay, well, how are they going to get out of it now? Because they've got all the other layer to that story.
The referee got plastic surgery to look like him. Oh my god!
That wild.
Look at the $100 bill coming out of his pocket with including nothing in his fucking pocket.
Or
So
like the Yokozuna with the cameraman that had the flash bulb that exploded in Hogan's face. That's one I always remember too.
Yeah.
And this is a trope that I think you guys can all agree on, especially in the modern independents, is that you get the nonstop false finishes at the end of a match. And I think WWE actually kind of started building it with like the WrestleMania finishes, but really it happens a lot of times on independents. And I think for every one match where it's like, man, they hit everything, and man, that was incredible, and oh my god, I didn't want them to stop. There's probably like 10 matches that's like, they just did too much, right?
Yeah.
And it ends with a roll up of all things too. Every single time, it's a roll up.
And I try to tell guys, like, I'm like, I don't want to shit on anybody's passion. I know that they're believing in it. I know they want to go out there and they want to hit it. They believe the crowd's going to be here, 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 here. Okay, great. So you got A through Z, right? Be prepared to know what you want to cut. If you know you got to get A, B, and C in, great. But what's D, E, and F? And if you guys are running a little long, or if the crowd's just not feeling it, what do you think out of all this you don't need? Because again, if it all goes according to plan A through Z and you get that fucking crowd and you got them going, then more power to you. You fucking killed it. But a lot of times you see it where it's just like, it was too much. And now it's too much because you kind of burn out the crowd. You got to the point where they don't want to see more. They just want to see the resolution. Like, yeah, and it's an X-Pac thing. You had him here. And if you bring him back down and you can't get him back up here, then you should have took it home. I mean, that happens a lot. And that's something that you definitely just learn over time. And I try to implement that, if you got all these things, just be prepared and listen. And if they're not feeling it, or if you are running really late on your time, know what you can take out and still be able to convey the story of that finish the way that you wanted to.
It's better than watching a Marcus Mathers match.
Oh boy. Nathaniel Schmidt has a two-parter here. What was the worst bump you've ever taken? So we'll get to that first.
I think most guys will agree with me. It's always the stupid one. It's always the easiest ones that end up being the worst ones. Like I saw it and I was trying to think. I was like, we've done a lot of, gone chairs and this, that, and what have you. And I mean, it hurts. It's going to hurt. The worst bump I've ever taken was a hip toss. It was we'll call it a Beal. It was a hip toss out of the corner with Adam Cage. It was at a UWC show at the Eagles in Cuyahoga Falls. That was when those random ass loaded UWC shows. You remember those, JHawk?
Oh, I got quite a few of those before I got into business. Absolutely.
Random ass really loaded shows, and I was wrestling Adam Cage, and we're just rocking and rolling. We're calling it. We're talking out there. He calls a hip toss out of the corner, and Adam Cage is a seasoned vet, really, really talented, really good worker. And I was like, I want to make it look good for him, so I get up for him, and I over rotate. And I kind of crossed the middle of the ring, and the ring wasn't a great ring anyways. And I over-rotate, and I land smack dab in the middle of my tailbone. And I knew it hurt then, but the adrenaline's going, so we finish the match. And then after the adrenaline wears off, I was sitting down, and I go to stand up, and I swear I was in tears and pain, like the shock just went through me. And I know now, I'm deeply bruised my tailbone. And if you're thinking they're like, how bad can a bruised tailbone be? A bruised tailbone is really fucking bad. A bruised tailbone hurts so bad.
Yeah.
So it's always the dumb ones. And I remember also it was a early Battle Royal for MCW, and I think it was Brain Damage who was going to throw me out, and I'm 18 years old. The only interaction I'm getting with him is in Battle Royals. I'm not on his level yet, but he's going to throw me out. I want to make it look good. So he goes to toss me, and I basically clear it with no hands on the rope and everything. Yeah, this is going to look great. And I land right underneath my ass, just on the wood of the edge of the ring. Nothing else, just completely flip bumped just my right below my ass on wood. And I was like, oh God, it's gonna be bad. And I'm not lying, it was like a basketball sized bruise underneath my ass to the bottom of my thigh, where I this hurts so bad. So when you say the worst bump ever taken, I know somebody's thinking it's gonna be like, when you crash through 2 tables or through 4 chairs, which I've done all those, and it's like, I don't know, I think you're kind of ready for that bump. It's always the bump you're not really ready for that catches you. That I think a lot of guys would probably share that sentiment.
And what is the best steak cut / bourbon combo?
All right,
So here we go. Let's go, Wilbur. Let's go. What do we got?
Now we're getting the real question here.
Yeah.
And this isn't, I want to hear all you guys's, but I'm going to tell you first. What I tell you is the correct answer.
Okay.
The correct answer is a Delmonico cut ribeye. You need good marbling. That ribeye fat, the marbling of that ribeye is critical, and it's the best part of the steak. If you like your strip steak, that's fine, but you're wrong. If you like a fillet, yes, fillets are delicious, but you're a girl. You need a Delmonico ribeye, 16 to 20 ounces with a nice bit of fat, nice bit of that buttery, marbly fat through it. You need to put plenty of salt and pepper on both sides. You need to have a good butter, an Irish butter, a seasoned butter with a little bit of garlic, and then you need to hit that for about 90 to 120 seconds, depending on the thickness, on each side on the hottest grill possible, and you cook that medium rare. That is the best steak. Then you got to pair it with.
He's right about the steak.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm right about the steak. I didn't lie. And for your bourbon combo, you don't want to get like a super duper spicy one, or you don't want like a super duper sweet one. You want more of like a rich, buttery bourbon to pair it with. Wild Turkey 12-year is phenomenal. That one pairs really good with the steak. And the other one that I have is E.H. Taylor. This is a single barrel E.H. Taylor. That pairs phenomenally with the steak. If you get a super duper high proof bourbon, which I enjoy, but it's almost too overpowering and it doesn't complement your meal the way that you want it to. So you want to have more of a rich bourbon, kind of hovering around 100 proof to pair with your steak.
Oh,
that's the correct answer.
No, that is. I really have I can't disagree, except I'm a Scotch guy, not bourbon. So I would do like a Lafroig and something smoky. But that's cash money. You're 100% right. Even down to the butter, 100% right.
Know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a strip steak and some ketchup. No.
I'll fucking throw you out of my house for that.
You were permanently uninvited from the Whitlock barbecue.
Dude, you got to come up and go to Keen's Chop House and try the mutton. Their mutton chop is one of the greatest delights in all of New York City. So if you ever get up here and go to Keen's across from the Garden, it's the best.
I've heard with like their mutton, if it's cooked, if it's perfect, it's about as good as you can have, but you can also kind of mess it up and spend a lot of money. That's kind of the
Keen's Chop House is known for that mutton chop all over the world. It is just one of the greatest steakhouses too. It was my dad's favorite. I just love that place, even though Peter Luger's in Long Island or in Brooklyn are amazing. But
I've heard of Peter Luger's. All right, so Butters, what is the way you eat a steak? This is important.
Honestly, I'm not super picky about my cut. Like I usually like whatever is like, I don't have it very often. So like my mom loved ribeye. I don't mind ribeye. I think I usually do eat like a strip steak. I just like it really thick. And I like it like medium rare, and I don't drink, so I can't really tell you what I drink with it. But like, I mean, sloppy steak, pour some water on it now.
I wish I could educate you on how good a good red wine as well, but like a good wine or a good bourbon pairs with a steak, like it really, really does. But you would be jumping into the deep end by trying one of my bourbons with your steak. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not one of the, I've never really been a drinker. So like now with my medication, I'm just not allowed. So it's like, yeah, but like what you said about like the steak, like with the butter, with the salt and the pepper, and like the butter being a specific type, that makes a lot of sense. Like the marbling makes a lot of sense. Like that actually made me like hungry for a steak. So I mean, I'm not going to disagree with that being probably the best.
I will say I'm a rare steak guy though. If anything, I can't. I would rather it be like cold in the middle than I would medium rare. I love a rare steak.
It can be pink, but it needs to be warm. I can't eat
like
cold meat. That's weird.
When it's purple, it's probably a little much for me. I think it's like you said, a little cold. I think it needs just another minute.
Yeah, I mean, when I was in college, one of my friend's dads took us for steak dinner one night, and I was like 18. He's like, he ate it like that. And he's like, we don't eat steak around here, anything but rare. And he's like, and if it's purple, it's better. And that set me off on that path my whole life. I would rather it be rare, and my daughter eats it rare too. She doesn't like if it's too brownish and too much bark, and It's just I'm with you on everything. I would like it. I'd take it off a little bit sooner. That's all.
My mom's father used to like eat handfuls of ground meat when it wasn't cooked. So like I just there's the old timers
that apparently is a grandparents era thing. That's not the first I've heard of that. My grandma mentioned her dad used to do that. Yeah, weird.
Oh, what else, Butters? What else we got for him?
That was all the questions from Facebook. There wasn't anything on Twitter.
Okay. I shared it on my page, and that little shit ass Angel Metro had the balls to ask me what my favorite Phil Collins song was, which I'm not happy about. But I will answer. I have always, so if anybody doesn't know, you should know, I have an unhealthy hatred for Phil Collins. I think he's the absolute fucking worst.
Wow. Okay.
I've heard him rant in the locker room about Phil Collins. He absolutely telling the truth about that.
Okay. All right.
I have said that if some of the Phil Collins songs were sang by somebody else who didn't sound like a whiny ass vanilla cheese dad singing the songs, they could be decent songs. So with that being said, the song Misunderstanding, if that were to be sang by like Huey Lewis and the News, I think it would be a great song. I don't think the song itself is that bad. It's just the sack of shit that sings it. So I did say I would be candid, and Angel Metro asked, I don't even want to say all the things I got to say about Phil Collins. Him and his stupid, ugly face in the front of all of his album covers, just front and center, like he's some sort of sex symbol. Have you seen this guy?
My God.
It's the worst. God, he's the worst.
An attack on Phil Collins all of a sudden.
I wish Captain Hook would have stabbed him in Hook. That would have made that movie 10 out of 10. Collins sucks.
No, his favorite South Park episode is the one where they make fun of Phil Collins for the entire thing.
That's a good one, though. You're right about that.
Real courage. Yeah, no, he's got it coming. But I said I would answer the questions, so I answered the questions candidly on that one.
Very fair. Yes.
Still not happy she asked it though. Got heat with her. And I'm not as scared of her as I am Jossie. So
yeah, she hasn't been back to Neopro in a hot minute. I'm surprised they haven't. She's been doing all kinds of crazy stuff though.
That man, bless her heart, she's a maniac in the best way. One of the sweetest humans I think we've ever had in the locker room there. She's fantastic, but she's a lunatic. Yeah, for the stuff she's been doing out on the circuit.
So Butters, what are we doing? Are we going to have Uncle Wilbur join us as like a guest host throughout the winter, maybe? And have him come in and watch some shows with us and give us some opinions? I think we might need to do that down the line.
Down.
I'd love to hear your opinion.
I mean,
you don't have to run anybody
if he's
down.
Up for it, sure. I was going to ask him before anybody. I mean, I guess technically OCW might have beat me to it, but I want him to be the commissioner for the Indie Wrestling Guide division, and make sure he lays the law, so I don't have to get like threatened continuously by people.
Special edition card. Yeah,
I'll be happy to do it, and especially with a lot of the guys that you have in the division, a lot of them are young, up and coming guys, and a lot of them have some chips on their shoulders. So, which more power to them. Happy to see it, And I was in my young 20s and coming up, man, I had it too. But sometimes you just need unk mode, where you just got to look at these kids and go, knock it the fuck off, I mean it. And I'd be, I'd be happy to deliver that for you, Butters, if that position is available. I think I'm the man for the job.
That's right, Shelby, you rotten fuck. You better listen.
He is a known horse killer. You got to be careful.
Shelby only gets heat with me for not coming out for karaoke. So
the IW Guide 2-time, soon to be 3-time Rookie of the Year.
We're naming the award after him. I don't think he's winning it again this year. I think Alonzo Cruz is getting it this year. But
you cannot be a 3-time Rookie of the Year. 2 is the max.
2 is the max.
After 2, you're no longer a rookie.
But it gets named after him.
It would be amazing if
Marcus Alexander Bagwell was a rookie for 7 years in a row.
Yeah, it would be amazing if it was just Shelby every year. That would be the greatest thing ever.
Well, look, 1994, I think, Bob Hawley was like first runner-up for PWI Rookie of the Year. He'd been wrestling like 7 years at that point. It's like, what the fuck are we doing?
It's
fine. It's fine. It's pro wrestling. Who knows?
It's all covered in Cage Match now. All the Hog Awards are up on the Cage Match.
Yeah.
Now, so. Oh, it's official.
Yeah.
You're not official unless you're on the Cage Match.
I can't believe it. The Hog Awards are up there. The IW Guide title is up there.
It's
Unbelievable. We are worldwide.
I was
baby.
contemplating making IW Guide tag team titles, but I feel like at that point I should just start my own promotion. So I just need to wait.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. Yeah, that's a lot of talent to bring in with on someone else's show. You know what I mean?
So,
got to do your own thing.
So, Butters, before we call it, can we put over the Neo Pro show here on Saturday?
Absolutely. Let's talk about it.
Let's go.
And so,
crazy show.
I'm gonna ask your thoughts. I want to know what you think. And JGold, you mentioned you were surprised by some of the tournament results. So we'll start at the top. So we got a 4-way match. It's the first fall to the finish. We will 100% have a new champion. I will be on hand. I'm looking forward to personally shaking the hand and handing the title off to the winner of this match. But you got Josh Bishop, which you still are looking to get dropped off at X8 187, no survivors, pal. But he's going to be there. We got Josh Bishop, Trey Lamar, Izzy Lambert, who beat Matt Taylor. So, I guess you have to kind of consider him as the dark horse with these four. But then Agent Zero, Bill Collier. I mean, you got stud after stud after stud in there. Only one's going to be the champ. I'm just curious to think, to find out what you guys think.
Let's just slow down for a minute, because that match, the names you just named that is a crazy match, and I want more people to watch this, because that's a ridiculous 4-way. So
it's going to be a match you're not going to find anywhere else.
No,
that I think is, we asked what would make somebody travel to a show, and I answered give me something I feel like I can't see anywhere else. This is a match you're not going to see anywhere else. I mean, you got 3 of the absolute top independent guys nationwide right now, and then my man Izzy has been, he's been on the circuit for about 15 years now, and he is in the best shape of his life. He's put in the best work of his life. I honestly, in my heart of hearts, think he is ready to make a pretty big jump in his career. Winning this match would be it. I mean, that would be it. If you win this match against those 3 guys, you're on the map. So I'm stoked for it, and I want to know what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm going to preface this by saying I have no inside knowledge. I know people are going to think I do. I don't have any inside knowledge. I don't talk to Danny and Jake when I come on the show. For this reason, I don't want to know shit ahead of time.
No, none of you guys do. I know that. Butters has some, but I don't know if he has on this one.
Yeah, I gotta say, I don't think you can go wrong with any of these 4 guys. I think they're all 4 of them would be great representatives of that Neo Pro Championship. I gotta put my money on Trey though, man. Trey had the hot hand for a hot minute. It's hard to pull against a guy like that.
I'm with you. I could, and Wilbur, don't hate me on this, but I am envisioning Izzy eating the pin in this match, and I can't decide whether Trey or Bishop. I want Bishop just because I'm selfish, but I think Trey too. I'm going to go with JHawk. I think Trey is going to win this match, and I think something is going to happen. You're going to have Bill Collier and Bishop like Godzilla and King Kong destroying the building, and Trey is going to take advantage somehow. So
those 2 wrestled one-on-one about a year ago at this time.
It was fantastic.
It really was. It was exactly like that. It was Godzilla and King Kong, but athletic as shit, doing flipping around the ring as well. So
we won't talk about the bell ringer for that match, though, that forgot to ring the bell for that match and got yelled at.
Don't worry,
Porter O'Shea. Yeah,
Porter O'Shea will mention it. That's
he
fine.
has reminded me at least once a month since that I forgot to do that. So
what does he know?
They were jawing outside. They were jawing, and Bishop was getting a piece of candy. I was watching him do that. I was like, they're not going to ring the bell while he's getting candy outside the ring, and he was yelling at me to ring the bell. So
that was his pre-match candy. He was ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, it was.
It's going to be a great match, though. I'm looking forward to it.
I haven't given my take. It's gonna be either Collier or Bishop. I feel like Trey is on getting up to that level, but I feel like there's stuff going on with him. I don't. I'm sorry, I don't see it with Izzy. He's a nice enough guy. But so is my neighbor. I don't see it with him.
It's hard to somebody who worked with.
It's not that I don't like him wrestling. I've watched him wrestle, and he's a good wrestler. It's just I don't see him in the main event scene at Neo Pro. I don't see it. So that's just on me. He does the hardcore stuff here and there. He has wins over Bobby Beverly and Toby Klein, and he's been having those kind of matches and kind of been built up. But I don't see it for him. But I feel like it's either Bishop or Collier. They're both big guys. I don't, unless something crazy happens, I feel like one of them two is going to walk out with it.
I feel that the dark horse part of the match, the fact that they did one fall to a finish and not elimination, that opens the door for somebody to sneak in that probably shouldn't win it in that spot.
Mm-hmm.
Part of the reason I hate one fall multi-man match, especially the title. But
I thought it was I thought it was a multi-fall. So
It's been a Neo Pro staple, the Eliminator series. Like, it's kind of one of our staples was, the eliminations, but in this case it is one fall to the finish. And that's a booking thing. I think if you got a match that's important, I would consider that like the one guy steals a pin, kind of cheap. But on the other hand, I do like the importance of like whoever gets that one fall, it's it. So it's not that,
I like that better. I'm with you.
Yeah. So then I'm really looking forward to that match. I want to talk about a couple more. What do you guys think of that tag team title match? We talked about them earlier. We got our friend Studio 86. They're defending the tag team titles against the besties of Jocelyn Navarro and MJ Santana. I personally am just tickled with this match. Like, I can't wait to see what goes down. And there's no reason to think that MJ and Jocelyn can't pull this one off.
They had one of my favorite matches this year against Derek Dillinger and Tyson Riggs. And I thought they were going to win the belts at AIW. So like, they absolutely can. Like, I think they can beat any male team. Like, I'll be shocked if they don't beat Studio 86. Actually, I think I would be shocked because they've been on a tear, and I think that I don't think Studio 86 is ready for those two.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I want to agree with you. I want that title change hands, but so many people are gunning after Jocelyn, that women's division. I think somebody's going to try to make their mark in that match, try to get a shot at Jocelyn down the line. I think that's going to be the difference on that.
She's not the champ anymore.
Well,
Jocelyn, right?
Yeah, but she also wasn't pinned, so
right. So
well,
I really think whatever's going on with the women's division is going to play a factor into that.
I'm saying if you want to take advantage of the two of them being as hot as they are right now, MJ and Jocelyn, you put the belts on them. Studio 86 got that triple threat, that 6-man we watched. That felt like more of like they focused on Studio 86. That was their match. I think Jocelyn and MJ should win this match. That's they're pistol hot right now. They're as a tag team and as solo acts, both of them are very, very popular. There would be nothing holding back. That would be you could do all sorts of crazy shit with the two of them as champs. So I'm going with Jocelyn and MJ in that one too.
Yeah. There's lots of opportunities, to roll with them if there's a lot of intriguing matchups to see.
You can do all sorts of things. You can do Jocelyn will beat the shit out of you, and MJ flies all over the place. You can do anything you want with them.
Yeah, that's what I want to happen. Just so Jocelyn doesn't kill me next time I see her. I want you to win.
Yeah.
You said that with a loud, clear voice, didn't you, JHawk? I heard it.
Oh yeah.
He's seen her beat me up backstage. She power bombs me and does whatever she can to just beat up on me. So she's very strong.
So, boys, I've got to get to rolling here at the house. I just want to say Neo Pro this Saturday, guys, at the Kingdom Center, August 29th. Show starts at 6 o'clock. Man, it's a loaded show from top to bottom. I think Adam Wick versus Saturn Price is going to impress some people. Yeah. Adam Wick has been turning heads, and I have been on many shows with Saturn Price. He's out of the Central Ohio scene, kind of in the Columbus area, and for whatever reason, a lot of those guys haven't really put their footprint down here in Northeast Ohio, but I think a lot of people are going to be impressed with Saturn Price. I'm really looking forward to that match. And then I'm looking forward to the OGs, man. I'm looking forward to Hayes and Jimmy versus Cash Inc. I actually think that's going to be a really good match, and there's some intrigue around that match. Cash Inc. was, for a lack of a better term, the goons for both of those guys at one point. And I think that's a really, really big match in the tag division. So I'm looking forward to the whole show, but I think those are the matches in particular I'm looking forward to the most.
Yeah, especially with the way Cash Inc. improved over the last couple of years. I would reference them when they were starting down in Mega, and the way they've improved over the last couple of years, that can be fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm gonna dip off.
Uncle Wilbur, thanks, man. Thanks for coming.
I appreciate you guys so much.
You're the best.
Let's go ahead and talk to JGold and get that contract worked out. The more zeros, the better. And I'll look forward to helping you out managing the IW guys.
Get a suit. and a collared shirt for crying out loud.
I'll dress the part. Maybe you give me that the nicer the bonus, the nicer the suit, JGold.
All right, man.
Eat your bagels. I love you, kids. We'll see you guys next time.
See you, man.
Later.
Later, guys.
See, Butters, we gotta get him in a suit. That's how we do it.
You got to put it in a contract. You got to put the suit in the contract.
Yeah, we could do that. All right. Well, dude, he's the best, and I am more appreciative every time he comes on. So good stuff. All right, what do we got? Plugs. Let's end it up on a strong note. JHawk, what do you got?
Most of the social at Ref JHawk, X, TikTok, Twitch, Blue Sky. It is JHawk1539 on the Instagram because Instagram is stupid. That's really all I got.
Butters.
I will have Series 7 with me this weekend in Geneva on the lake. I'm just going up there to hang out. No specific reason, no wrestling shows or anything going on up there. Wink, wink, hint, hint. But I'm just going to go up there, enjoy the food and the view, and just be a tourist. And but I will have trading cards on me if you would like to purchase those. If you happen your way up there. So.
All right. And JGold12 on Instagram, on the Twitter machine. Rate, review, and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Our Twitter handle, IWGuide1, YouTube.com, IWGuide, Patreon.com/IWGuide. Don't forget about the merch store over at Brainbuster Tees. Gorilla Press, our pal Will, he's always around doing something. Podcast friends, we're part of the Main Event Wrestling Network, On the Mark, Wrestling Podcast, Tino's Time, Blog World Order, Ope, Three-Way, and my show, the NXT Night Shift, every Tuesday live at 10:10. At Odds with Wrestling, the card is going to change. Super Fantastic Podcast and Marks with Mikes. Check out our other friends, Monsters in the Toy Box, Toy Hio, Rubber City Toys, Neo Pro Wrestling, OKCR Creation, Stash Pages, and the champ, Pally's Beef Jerky, the forever champ, Kaplan. That's it for tonight.
Life short, watch more indie wrestling.
Don't forget to review and subscribe wherever you listen to us. Find us online at Facebook and Instagram at The Indie Wrestling Guide. And on X or Twitter at IWGuide1.